everyone, my name is Taniya Nagpal. I am a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Ottawa and with the Society of Obstetricians and Gynecologists of Canada. I have been involved with Obesity Canada for a number of years now since I started grad school, and most recently last year I was the chair of the OC SNP Exec Committee, and this year I am the outgoing chair. So I completed my Bachelor's of Health Sciences from the University of Western Ontario, and then I actually progressed to the Master's of Science program in kinesiology, also at Western. And I absolutely fell in love with research, and so I ended up fast-tracking into the PhD program, and I completed my PhD just this past August and have now started my postdoc. So after completing my graduate education, I went right away into a postdoctoral fellowship. So I'm currently a postdoc with the University of Ottawa, supervised by Dr. Christy Adamo in the Prevention in the Early Years Research Program, the Adamo Lab. And I'm also supervised by the Society of Obstetricians and Gynecologists of Canada, working with Dr. Jocelyn Cook. And this has been an absolutely amazing postdoctoral fellowship. I'm funded through the MyTax program, which gives you this unique opportunity to engage in both a traditional academic, so university environment, and a non-academic or non-university environment. And this has been great. So, the way that my typical week looks is I spend 3 days a week at the university and 2 days a week with the SOGC. And sometimes the work will overlap, but overall I try to spend at least 50% of my time in both areas. With the university, a lot of the work that I get to do includes continuing to learn new research skills, engaging with other trainees in the lab, participating in ongoing research programs, writing, learning how to do some grant writing, teaching, as well as pursuing my own research interests, which includes studying weight stigma experienced in prenatal healthcare environments and taking a patient-centered approach to inform healthcare providers on how to eliminate weight stigma. And then with the SOGC, I get to also pursue my research ideas, but engage in other projects that they have going on. And what's really neat is that during my PhD, my work was very much surrounding exercise and pregnancy and behavior change. But now coming into the SOGC, I still get to be around women's health, but engaging in so many different areas of research. So, from alcohol use during pregnancy to stigma experience due to HPV, engaging in clinical practice guideline development in various different clinical populations and different areas of research. And it's been incredible, both from a learning perspective, but also from the opportunity to apply the skills that I've learned in graduate school. Some of the work that I get to do focuses on supporting authors with literature reviews, developing knowledge translation resources, so coming up with ideas on how we could take clinical practice guidelines and develop tools and resources that can then be used to implement these guidelines in clinical settings. Writing, again, I do continue to write while I'm here, but in addition to maybe the more traditional articles that we write, I'm also learning how to write more public-facing documents, such as website content. So it's been a great stimulating environment and an opportunity to learn new skills. There have been a lot of transferable skills that I'm able to bring forward from my graduate education, especially in the SOGC environment. So some of the skills that I've been able to bring forward includes being able to read papers and understand the important message to bring forward. And this is a really interesting skill that I didn't realize was a transferable skill until I came into this postdoctoral environment. So being able to read a scientific paper and come up with what's the main message to bring forward has been a great skill that I've been able to apply in this environment. And it's also helped me come up with ideas for tools and resources that we could create based on the research. Another skill bringing forward is being able to summarize and write documents that summarize maybe longer documents or more scientific articles, and then they can be used by more public-facing audiences. Collaboration is a nice skill to bring forward too. From your graduate work, you have the opportunity to work with so many people, whether it be lab mates or other faculty members, and then to bring forward these skills into a postdoc is really important because you're likely working on so many different new teams. Another skill brought forward is being able to ask research questions and to articulate your ideas is really important in both environments. So in the academic environment, being able to ask research questions helps you come up with new ideas that you can then independently pursue, of course, with the support of your lab mates and your supervisor. And then also to be able to articulate your ideas. So in a postdoc, what I think is really important is you're going into an environment where there's a lot for you to gain, a lot for you to learn, but also in a space that you can contribute. So you really need to be able to articulate and show what skills can you bring forward to this environment and help this environment grow, and at the same time, gain new skills and learn from this space as well. Advice that I would give to my grad student self would definitely be just keep swimming. I think in grad school, you're gonna have good days and bad days, but the most you can do and the best you can do is give it 100% every single day. And that may look different every single day, but as long as you're giving your 100%, you could only be swimming forward. So, there will be days that everything seems to go well, your experiments all work out, maybe recruitment was awesome, maybe got some acceptances, but then there's also going to be days where the experiment didn't go as planned, or, so many things came up, participants canceled, maybe you got a rejection email. Regardless, there's always going to be ups and downs, but if you can come into it every single day with the idea of just keep swimming, and just keep moving forward, you'll get there. You'll get through grad school, you'll take those transferable skills, and it'll help you move forward to the next step. And the other piece of advice that I would give my grad student self, which is something that I realized more so towards the end of my PhD, is it seems like there's this formula when you start grad school of, you do your master's, then you do your PhD, and then you do your postdoc. But that's not mandatory. And I think it's really, really important for you to always self-reflect and ask yourself why it is you want to go to do your PhD or to do your postdoc, to make sure that you choose the right space for yourself. And what I mean by that is going from the master's to the PhD, reflect on why you would like to do that. What's the motivation behind that decision? Hopefully it includes loving research. And then in doing so, select the lab and the space that you can best work in for the next 4-ish years, but also a space where you'll have a lot to gain and an environment that really excites you. So that's really important. I think you really need to reflect between that transition. And then again, you have to reflect between the PhD to whatever the next step is. A postdoc is not mandatory, but if you are going to do a postdoc, ask yourself, what is it that you hope to gain from the postdoc? Personally, for me, I really wanted to go to a space where my ideas could grow, but also a space where I could learn as much as possible. So an environment where there are new skills for me to capture, people to work with, where I could be challenged, and then also make a contribution. So just keep swimming, be open to new ideas and new adventures, and you'll be great.